Last time on Dragon Ball, the brave and powerful savior of Earth, Son Goku, fought a long and hard battle with a mysterious opponent that destroyed him from the inside out. Leaving the protection of the world to the other Z-Warriors, Goku passes on. Unfortunately, a cybernetic menace rose as one last desperate attempt at revenge from the evil Dr. Gero. One by one, the Earth's mightiest warriors fell until only Gohan and the son of Vegeta, Trunks, remained. Gohan took the lead and began to train Trunks as Bulma worked on the group's last-ditch effort to save the world. Soon, Son Gohan fell to the androids as well, leaving Trunks and Bulma as the last remaining hope for Earth. They make their gamble now. Wager all your hope. What if Trunks went back in time too far?
Trunks and Bulma had finally finished their time machine, and were preparing for Trunks' departure. The young warrior had just installed the word hope on the time machine, as his mother began to...
What in the... Yo, Smug, what are you doing on my channel? I've already done this video, man.
Oh, hey, Os, hello, Plus Ultra, yeah, I know you've done this before, but you gotta admit, that video has a lot of issues.
Well, yeah, my mic quality isn't the greatest, and there's an echo in that video. I left some stuff out, there's a plot hole or two, my storytelling wasn't the best, and it's kind of boring as well, and it was my longest video at the time, so I got extremely lazy at the end there. So, I guess a redo isn't too out of the question.
Exactly. So I thought I'd help you fix a lot of those issues. Luckily, you've improved on a lot of stuff since recording that video, so I think redoing it is kind of needed.
Alright, you win. The Plus Ultra fam definitely does deserve better. But scoot over, I'm gonna help you out with this.
Awesome!
Dang it, now I gotta re-edit this whole video. Then again, I guess I already have done it once, so I could just let the editing be a lot more laid back on this one. Screw it, let's just jump in. Oh, and trust me, Smug, I will get back at you for sneaking on my channel. Now, for the sake of time constraints, a lot of what is said in the original video will remain as it was, though I don't see any trouble in changing a few things.
Such as the point in time to which Trunks travels back to. In the original video, Plus had him go back 1 year before Bulma arrives, but I think it would be better to make this change during the 3 years of training Goku went through before the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Let's say that while Bulma is setting the time period, she may reminisce about the good old days. Maybe a fight with Yamcha. She accidentally then sends Trunks back to the last year before the tournament.
That's not a bad idea, actually. It would mean that we can bypass a lot of stuff, and that Goku is already familiar with the Red Ribbon Army. We'll also use my same reasoning from the original video about why Trunks stays in the past and trains Goku. He thinks it's a linear timeline, and that it will change his own timeline if Goku's is changed. Trunks' goal is still to make Goku into a Super Saiyan. In the original, I showed a Super Saiyan Kid Goku on screen as an illustration, and a lot of you thought that I meant that he'd achieved the transformation already. This is not what happens, though Goku does get a lot stronger, much more powerful than any threat the world is going to throw at him for a very long time. Though Trunks would still have to teach Goku how to use and sense Ki, and power him up a lot just to be on the level to spar with him. I also think that Trunks spends a lot of time trying to get Goku to be more serious, to take on the role of protecting the world, and to get him to be a lot less playful and goofy. He'd probably just lie to Goku and tell him that he was some amazing master, and sensing his power, Goku can't deny this, so I'm pretty sure he'd believe it. Trunks also begins to ask Goku questions about the Red Ribbon Army, like where their bases were, did he kill any of them, questions of this nature. He could possibly take the responsibility out of Goku's hands, and completely obliterate the army himself, and all his members. This may sound very dark, but Trunks' future itself is very dark. And with Goku not achieving Super Saiyan as Trunks wanted him to, he wants to make sure that there is absolutely no way the Red Ribbon Army can come back to bite them later on.
Okay then, let's run with this Terminator-style Trunks. Bulma may not exactly know where the bases are, and Trunks may not want to meet her for the risk of maybe erasing himself from the timeline. But Goku does know one person who could help, Ader, who was an android that was part of the Red Ribbon Army. This intrigues Trunks, because Ader could tell him about who his creator is, and maybe how to stop the other androids. So Goku and Trunks go to Suno's village, and speak to Ader. Trunks would be very shocked at how different 18 and 17 were to this android, but he keeps this to himself. After a conversation with 8, he is told about Dr. Gero, and he now has a name to go after. Here is where he and Goku part ways. Trunks tells Goku to never stop training, and to always take the protection of Earth seriously. Goku would have come to really look up to Trunks, but before leaving, Trunks reveals his true power. Reach this, Goku, and surpass it. Then he flies off.
Skipping over the gory details, somehow, some way, Trunks kills every single member of the RR, including Dr. Gero, finding his lab and destroying it with him inside. After this, a lot of what I said in the original video will remain the same. There's no way Goku doesn't win the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, as I now place him anywhere from 2,000 to a little over 3,000. And since he can sense ki, it's possible that he feels an evil energy around Krillin and saves him before Tambourine can kill him. It's even possible that King Piccolo is never released. In the original, I allude to Kami having a plan and being stronger, so it's possible that he proactively reseals Piccolo as soon as he escapes. Then, as his mysterious friend had told him to, Kami seeks out Goku and invites him to train on the lookout. Already much stronger than all his friends, I don't think Goku has any more interest in the tournaments and happily goes with Kami. This would also cause a domino effect of Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu beginning to train even harder to catch up to Goku. And because Goku is not at the 23rd tournament, he and Chi-Chi never reunite. Instead, Goku basically becomes the guardian of Earth in all but name. He just trains on the lookout all the time. But remember, we did reintroduce Sinnoh and Ader in this version, so this could rekindle Sinnoh's feelings for Goku. I think she and Android 8 could seek him out and somehow find where he is. Sinnoh would somehow climb Korin's tower and soon after up to the lookout through sheer willpower alone. If she reaches the top, I think Goku would be very impressed with her and may train with her, soon leading to a relationship between the two. This would be good because I feel like Sinnoh would completely allow Goku to train as much as she wants. As long as they're together, I don't think she'd mind too much. This also means that Goku has an uninterrupted 8 years of complete hardcore training. So by the time Z actually starts, he'll be way stronger.
Other than that change, the majority of what Plus Ultra said in the original video is the same. Trunks realizes he hasn't changed the future and returns to the past. He trains with Master Roshi, having been impressed with how well Goku could fight. The Kame style was much more technical than what Gohan had taught him. He then goes and climbs Korin Tower and drinks the Ultra Divine Water. In the original video, Plus Ultra states the wrong kind of water. After this small boost, Trunks goes up to the lookout to speak with Kami. This happens before Goku goes up there, mind you. There, he explains himself to Kami, and the two train in the Room of Spirit and Time together. This makes Trunks and Kami way stronger, and makes Kami powerful enough to upgrade Shenron. This Shenron would be able to complete multiple resurrections of the same person, and grant more than one wish. And his wishes grow powerful enough to affect other timelines. Trunks returns to the future, way too powerful for 17 and 18 to even try to fight. And after destroying them, Kami gathers the Dragon Balls to wish himself young again, as with his new power, he would take over training for Goku and the other warriors, for threats that Trunks had warned about. He then uses his second wish to repair Trunks' timeline. There could have been more wishes at this point, but Kami was done.
From here, time passes, and like Smug said, pretty much everything I said in the original video will stay pretty similar. The Saiyan saga all the way up to the Frieza saga happened the exact same as the original video, and I never mentioned what would have happened to King Cold in that original video. But I imagine that Frieza not returning from Earth, Cold would probably go there as well, and is probably killed by Goku, who has continued his training since defeating Frieza. Remember in the original video, he actually becomes a Super Saiyan because this is the first time he's actually felt outpowered by somebody in the terms of Frieza. So he wants to at least reach that type of power. And remember that Dr. Gero is dead, so there are no androids in this version. And if Cell does return to this timeline, there is no 18 or 17 to absorb. If he is found, he'd be killed. Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta are turned into good guys like I said, and train with Goku on the lookout, where they all achieve Super Saiyan and soon after, Super Saiyan 2. Once the Supreme Kai and Babidi arrive, doing away with the Evil Wizard's plot is a very simple affair, with really no hiccups at all. The Saiyans all have a pretty good relationship with each other, so there's no new Majins.
Though Battle of Gods can change, if Buu is not there, then there's nothing really for Beerus to be set off. Vegeta and possibly Nappa would know him, and instruct the people to be on their best behaviors even if they don't know King Kai. At some point, somebody would have the idea to ask Shenron about the Super Saiyan God ritual, and it is done, with Goku acting as the 6th Saiyan, while Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, and possibly their children acting as the rest. Goku has never stopped training, and has been training with other Super Saiyan 2 level Saiyans. So while he may not be able to turn into a Super Saiyan 3, Goku would probably be much stronger than his canon counterpart, meaning that Beerus gets a great fight, but ultimately does defeat Goku, though he's pretty tired after the battle, and really respects this more powerful yet humble and serious version of Goku. And remember, in the original video, Plus Ultra had Vegeta and Nappa go on to destroy the rest of the Cold Force. That still happens here, as well as Frieza never being revived.
From here, I'm sure the Saiyans still hunger for even greater power begin to train with Whis and attain the God form, and beyond that, Super Saiyan Blue. Champa arrives and the Universe 6 tournament still takes place, but the lineup here is Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and possibly the young version of Kami, and maybe Nappa. In the original video, I didn't change these fights too much from canon, but the Universe 7 team, save Kami, would flatten the Universe 6 team in this timeline with very little contest. He would be the only person to really pose a challenge, and because he can't kill, he's even more handicapped. Now, the Omni King would watch, but because this Goku is a more serious version of himself, I think when Beerus tells him not to speak to the Omni King, the Saiyan actually listens, a bit reluctantly, but he does listen.
But we may see the last Zeno in this timeline. In the future, Goku Black launches his attack on the mortals, though there are way more of them in this timeline. Trunks is also a lot more powerful, because he's been training for so long his entire life. And not to mention, his father and Gohan are now alive. With those two having been in the other world for so long, it's extremely possible that they could have gotten to train and reach a new level of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3, being much too powerful for Babidi and Dabura's forces, even stronger than Buu himself if he were to be released. With these two fighters and Trunks, as well as the other C fighters who have grown more powerful, Black is in for a lot of trouble. Actually, with this situation, it's possible that the Mafuba and the C fighters of Goku's timeline may not even be needed.
Actually, I think that's the way we should go. Trunks begins to train with Vegeta and Gohan, pushing his own power to heights he never dreamed of. And by the time Black arrives, he is able to push himself into Super Saiyan 3 as well, after more training with the Z-Sword, as well as his Super Saiyan 3 partners. These three Super Saiyan 3 show Black no mercy, and without even allowing him to grow stronger himself, end him with a huge yellow beam, made up of 2 Masenkos and a final flash. When Zamasu reveals himself, the future Piccolo, who had been training in Otherworld with Vegeta and Gohan, steps in. He uses the Mafuba, sealing the immortal opponent away. And if you don't agree with this ending, Vegeta and Gohan likely both have learned fusion, and Black and Zamasu could have been defeated by Gogeta, but with an H. This means that there is no introduction of the future Zeno, and Goku has never spoken to the Omni King in the first place, meaning the tournament of power is never thought of. I believe if this were to happen, that eventually the Omni King decides to destroy the multiverse out of sheer boredom. He may spare universes 1, 12, 8, and 5, but other than that, everyone does die.
Though realistic, that's a bit dark, don't you think? While that could happen, let's make that a branch, while the other could be that there is still a tournament just further down the timeline, maybe a few years, or even a decade. If the Frieza Force, like the Red Ribbon Army, is completely exterminated, I'd think that the Frieza Force soldier that helped Rimura may also be dead. So that old goat may still be imprisoned forever. This is more out of wanting to leave that arc alone until it concludes though. While Broly would remain on Vampa, unless he's found. Paragus would probably have passed away and Broly would just live in peace. Goku and the others would continue to train and attain greater power. They would only be slowed down because there's no threats. Finally, the Grand Priest would appear in front of Goku and declare a tournament, one that would decide which universe would continue existing. But instead of having teams, it would only be one member, the strongest mortal of their universe, and their god of destruction.
Oh, I get you, that makes sense. Because the Universe 6 tournament was won by Universe 7 so easily, Zeno is only interested in seeing the strongest fighters duke it out. That is a very cool idea, Smug. So, Goku and Beerus represent Universe 7 obviously, while Hit, who after such an easy loss to Goku, would have definitely been training harder than ever, and probably have taken some advice from Goku. He would link up with Champa for Universe 6.
Remember that without Kefla, created via the Potara fusion, Hit is considered the pinnacle of strength in this universe, especially this version.
Now, some of these teams are no-brainers, like Jiren the Grey and Belmont would represent Universe 11, while Brienne and Hellas would represent Universe 2, Bergamo and Yinsidra for Universe 9, I guess, most likely Rumshi and probably Murichim, I think that's how you say his name, for Universe 10, but a lot of the others are up for debate, like the person who teams up with Kitella. Would it be Ganos, or one of the more tricky fighters in Universe 4? Would Aniraza be formed already, or would someone else fight alongside Mule? I'm interested in what you guys would have to say.
In the end, it may not matter. The team of this stronger Goku as well as Beerus is already very powerful, and I think Beerus would be smart enough to take advantage of his relationship with Universe 6. When the battle begins, he tells Champa outright to team up with him, and they'll use their Super Dragon Balls to wish to bring back the 6th universe. Champa would be hesitant and at first refuse the suggestion, working with Hit to take out some of the weaker universes. Kitella is also taken out easily too. His teammates, whoever they are easily eliminated. Bergamo and Rumshi could also last for a while, but soon they fall as well. Ribrianne's transformation and heals become strong competitors.
But to TLDR of this, the match would likely come down to 4 teams and 8 competitors. Universe 11, where Belmont had been lazing around like Ash's Charizard and only attacking if need be, and the currently meditating Jiren, Hellas, and Brienne, though they would be pretty tired. The hefty God of Destruction Champa, and Hit, who had been continuously improving in this battle, and Beerus, as well as this timeline's more powerful and focused Goku, who is also pretty tired himself. Finally, Beerus gives his same proposition to Champa again, pointing to the almighty Jiren, and claiming that he was way too tough for them to beat on their own. The only way of defeating him was together. Champa, though angry, finally agrees and tells Hit to do whatever they say. The assassin then activates his time skip, bringing Goku into it with him. Working together, the two use Hit's uniquely precise attacks and are able to hit the legs of Ribrianne in her huge form, weakening them. As Goku powers up his Super Saiyan Blue form, charging his power to an extreme degree and trying to push beyond his limits, with his power at a brand new maximum, he slams right into Ribrianne, and when time restarts, she falls right over onto Hellas, knocking them both out of the ring and out of existence.
Seeing the alliance of Universe 6 and 7 forming, Belmont only laughs and stands up. He pats Jiren's shoulder and gives him an order. Go all out, and end this, will you? I'd like to take a peaceful nap. He then went up and jumped right off the stage. Jiren's eyes burst open, and his fiery ki begins to boil in the ground of the stage. Beerus realizes that the power is so great that he needs to close his eyes and center himself, trying to clear his mind. At the same time, this power from Jiren begins to awaken something in Goku, and the same divine silver aura begins to shine around him. This is from the idea that Goku doesn't need to be hit by his own Spirit Bomb to awaken Ultra Instinct, but rather a power similar or greater to his strength, which full power Jiren surely is. You must also remember that Goku has never stopped training. Combat is his life, and his training with Whis would have been nearly constant.
Without even asking for an explanation of what was happening to him, Goku rushes at Jiren, with Beerus following right after him. He begins to try and coach Goku on how to use his attacks while in Ultra Instinct, and soon Jiren's on the defensive, having underestimated the two. But Goku is much too tired and begins to lag behind, and he is caught by one of Jiren's attacks, meaning the power of Ultra Instinct had faded away from him. Seeing an opening, Jiren winds up a punch that could knock Goku right at the ring, but in the next instant, Goku is not there. In fact, he's behind Jiren, looking visibly less tired. Jiren is confused by this, but then he is hit by a quad of attacks that push him to the edge of the arena. Turning around, Champa, Hit, Goku, and Beerus, still in Ultra Instinct, are behind him. Hit boasts that he had pushed his time skip to such an extent that Goku had a long time to recover, and the group planned for that big attack to take him down. Jiren is a bit angry at this, but he attacks once again. Hit tries the same technique, but this time Jiren is ready, and using his speed and predictive skills, counters all 4 attacks easily. But that power from Goku and Beerus reignites completely, and the battle grows even more hectic. Jiren couldn't land any of his blows on them, and Champa and Hit lend support, small pot shots that impede his progress at every junction.
Finally, the ultimate cross-universe tag move is landed. Dodging a wild swing from Jiren, Beerus catches his attack and begins to use his Cataclysm Orbs to act as mines, further setting him off balance. As Champa runs up behind him, literally running through his legs and flipping him. As this happens, Hit begins to batter him with extremely fast punches that knock out the Gray higher up into the air before wrapping his arms around him to trap him. And finally, Goku powers up as much as possible and rocks his arm back as a silver dragon forms around him. He rams his punch into Jiren's midsection and drills him down through the arena, ending the match effectively.
From here, Beerus and Champa have an argument about who would lose, with Beerus probably tricking Champa in some way and winning. And I think he would decide to wish back every single universe, destroying the tournament, probably at the behest of Goku. But as I said, this event likely wouldn't even happen. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this rehash of this old What If. And I hope that Smug learns not to sneak on other people's channels anymore. So to make sure he learns this lesson, I'm gonna go cause some chaos. See ya!
Wait, plus, where are you going? You didn't even say the thing. Alright, I'll do it, I guess. Oh, shout out to the only newbie tier Patreon, Chase Bolton. So if you've enjoyed this video, consider supporting me, SmugStick, on Patreon, as well as Plus Ultraman. And as he usually says, take care of yourselves, and always go beyond. Plus Ultra! Okay, I gotta go see what he's doing on my channel. See ya!